afternoon. I'm Alicia Smith. I'm 12 years old, and I attended Seminole Middle School. Since I started school back in January, I have been bullied and targeted because I wear a Trump mask, hat, and t-shirt. Last year, during the pandemic, I was diagnosed with alopecia areata. It's an immune deficiency, and I had to shave my head since all of my hair fell out in big clumps. So I was scared to go back to school because I was in fear I would get bullied. And for my medical condition. Not only have I been humiliated and discriminated against for my freedom my freedom to speak and free speech, for my support because I support Donald Trump, our former president. I was humiliated at school because I wear Trump apparel. We had a difficult time identifying one of my attackers because he had a mask on. It made it harder to identify them. It should be my choice if I wear a mask. It was my body and my right to make my own decisions. Please help me change the way that bullies are handled, and please help me at that so that future victims don't feel victimized over and over for someone else's actions. I am tired of being attacked and physically being ashamed. Verbally for expressing my support for a former president. It is not a political statement. It is historical fact, and you're not protecting my civil right because it's your political posture. I want new policies put in for victims who have been victims of bullying. I was attacked 4 times, once in the bathroom and 2 times after school. Well, 3 times. They pulled down my neck gaiter and showed my hair, and they humiliated me in front of the whole school.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Smith. I'm Alicia Smith's mom. I am ashamed of the way the administration has handled the bullying attacks on my child. I had went into the office to talk to Dr. Moss and Dr. McMahon. Not only did they re-victimize and bring my daughter and bully shame her, they accused her of bringing it on herself. They accused her of wanting this. They accused her of being a racist. The way that the administration handled this is not appropriate, and there needs to be action done, and there needs to be discipline with these people. They're taking care of our children. How can we have people who are telling our children that it's their fault because they are choosing their First Amendment right, their civil rights, to wear what they're allowed to? And they're telling them, no, they can't because somebody else physically attacked them. I had to listen to that video of my daughter in that bathroom. It was a minute long. I cannot imagine being a 12-year-old girl, listening to girls threatening to beat her up, saying that they hope she gets COVID. The fear, 3 people on the other side of the door. How would you feel if that was you at 12 years old? How would you feel if that was your child? The way the administration handled this, there needs to be done differently. We need to have different rights for our victims. She has a safety plan, but she's the one who has to leave early. She's the one who has to change classes. Why can't we discipline these children? If they're going to continue to bully, they need to be removed from the school. There needs to be something done and stop re-victimizing and and victim shaming our children for other people's actions. It's not allowed. You guys teach for the First Amendment, you teach them about civil rights, they speak up and they do it, and you punish them. How is that fair? Isn't it our job as the administration to be there for them? Dr. Moss, Alicia went to go see Dr. Moss. She told him about the video. He refused to let her go until she deleted the video to go back to class. She was scared. She deleted the video, but she had it saved on her phone in another spot. This is unacceptable. He destroyed evidence. He made my daughter not feel comfortable going to him. In the afternoon, when she was attacked 3 more times, I ended up calling the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department because she didn't want to go back to the school administration and talk to them because they did nothing. She says they didn't even pull her out of class to talk about it again. It was that brief moment in the hallway, and that was it.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you about your responsibility to the students in your school district. The Florida statutes Title 48 K-20 Education Code Chapter 1006.147 prohibits bullying and harassment. Each district must adopt and review a policy prohibiting bullying and harassment. The policy must be implemented in each school by the principal. The Pinellas County School District does have such a policy. It ensures that all students, employees, and volunteers learn and work in an environment that is safe, secure, and free from harassment of any kind. The policy defines bullying as systemically and chronically inflicting physical hurt or psychological distress on one or more students or employees, and may involve, but is not limited to, teasing, social exclusion, threat, intimidation, stalking, including cyberstalking, physical violence, theft, sexual, religious, or racial harassment, public humiliation, and destruction of property. The policy defines harassment as any threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gesture, or written, verbal, or physical conduct directed against a student or employees. The Pinellas County School District policy states we are committed to providing a safe learning environment and will not tolerate bullying or harassment of any kind. Seminole Middle School's mission statement stipulates they will provide a safe and positive educational environment that is conducive to 100% student success. One of their guidelines is to have respect for self and others. The administrators of the school have created the policy. Now it needs to be enforced. We all know that children can say nasty and hurtful things to each other, but it's up to the adults to monitor the situation. Teachers need to watch and intervene. Students observing the bullying need to know it's okay to report the behavior to someone in authority without fear of reprisal. Principals are responsible for disciplining students who act aggressively toward their victim. We entrust our children to you, and we expect you to provide a safe haven. By not confronting this bullying, you are complicit. Isn't that what we're told every day? Kids who are bullied struggle with self-esteem, maintaining relationships, and often have trust issues. They often develop depression and anxiety and avoid social interaction. The stress brought on by bullying can exacerbate health problems such as skin conditions, stomach, and heart issues. Kids who are bullied suffer academically. Each year, 5.5 million kids skip school at some point during the year because of bullying. They're more likely to drop out of school, smoke, drink alcohol, get into fights, and be arrested. How can you look yourselves in the mirror knowing all the consequences of bullying in our schools?
Thank you.
You're supposed to be guardians of our children. It's time to own up to your responsibilities.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. And again, if there are other things that you need us to hear, you can give them in writing. You can give it to us, and we'll all receive it.
I heard this story a couple weeks ago, and it broke my heart because I experienced it with my 3 kids in Broward County schools, specifically Parkland schools. And I say Parkland schools because they were run by the Parkland parents and not by the Broward County schools. My kids were bullied from kindergarten up through high school. A lot of kids were. It was never dealt with. The bulliers were empowered, and they kept on doing it. And we all know what happened in Parkland schools. You guys need to get it together. My daughter was in Pinellas County Schools for 5 years. She got bullied. Nobody did anything. Let's just shove it under the carpet. You need to get a plan together. This is heartbreaking. She's trying to express her First Amendment freedom of speech by wearing a Trump hat, and she gets assaulted. If I walk out of here with my MAGA Nation shirt on and somebody assaults me, can they just say, well, you offended me, it's your fault? This is ridiculous. I don't want to move up here and live in Pinellas County and see the same stuff happen up here that happened in Broward, because it's heartbreaking. And that's heartbreaking to listen to a story about a child like that. You see something, you say something. I saw something, and I'm saying something. Do something about it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jonathan Riches.
Hi,
Welcome.
good morning. Jonathan Riches. I am with Community Patriots of Pinellas County. I am here for a free speech for Alicia. I'm also representing Born to Ride 45. I'm a President Trump supporter. I'm here today because outside this building right now, there's about 30 people rallying in support of Alicia, who is a student at Seminole Middle School. She was bullied by other students in her school. She brought the attention of her bullying to Dr. McMahon, the principal, 6th grade principal, also Dr. Moss, Michael Moss, and they paid no attention to her. And you know, I find something very interesting. At the beginning of this meeting, you emphasized about how Seminole Middle School was Say Something, the Say Something program week, where if you say, you know, stop bullying and violence in the school system. Alicia and her mother said something, and she was ignored. I call on Michael Moss to be fired. I call for Dr. McMahon to be fired. Alicia was wearing a Trump hat, and she got bullied, harassed inside the bathroom in Seminole Middle School. She locked herself in the cell in her bathroom stall and recorded it. I heard the recording. Hundreds of other people heard the recordings. She took it to Dr. McMahon, who called Trump a racist. Her mother took it to Dr. Moss, who made her erase the tape, erase the evidence of bullying. What is going on here in Pinellas County? What is going on? Because yesterday, we were in front of the school. There was 30 of us. We're here to support Alicia. Say no to racism. You know what they said on the tape? They were calling Alicia a cracker, a honky, and the principal done nothing about it. So imagine, listen, all forms of racism in this school should not be accepted. No student should be subject to being called a cracker or a honky. They should be disciplined, suspended, or possibly expelled. Get it together, Pinellas County. Taxpayers and patriots are tired of this. They're tired of Trump supporters, of people supporting a past president getting harassed. No child should be subjected to being harassed because they support Trump, Obama, Clinton, whoever. It's your right. It's free speech. It's freedom of expression. It's one of our presidents. Stop it, because more patriots like me are going to come out and speak about it. There's going to be more protest outside. As far as masks, we know mandatory masks are unconstitutional. Make it optional. Our wonderful governor, great Governor Ron DeSantis, he said we need more civics teachings in the school system, not critical race theory. We need more civics. We need more appreciation and love for law enforcement, for our first responders, to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. That makes schools great.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody that did show up and share everything they did, because everything that I heard was pretty dang respectful and honest, and it needs to be heard. There is a group of people outside. It isn't just for that child, though. I mean, there's still a small group, and I mean, I guess my 3 minutes needs to be used with my sound like this, because I mean, I'm hearing that the charges are supposed to be dropped here soon, or something's supposed to happen with all this stuff, but I just want to clarify the videos, the sounds. This man refusing me on the 27th to enter this meeting because I didn't have a mask.
It can be right now,
I
not in the
have your
building.
audio, don't the videos that you people have. That's all 4 of us getting denied. You want more? I mean, I've got the video and the audio of my family entering this building and this man doing what he did. And then the sounds after that of my wife's phone being thrown on the ground and tossed around by your people. He
Your
remembers her
mandate
from last
expired
time.
last night at
All
November
the sound
9th
people
at
need.
midnight. You cannot legally hold
want one of these
anybody
two jobs.
accountable for not wearing a mask today.
I want somebody's jobs. He remembers her
Mr.
last
Kent,
time as he approached
Mr.
her.
Kent, if I can interrupt you for just a moment.
You're right, I am.
Now, I know you address this is a time to address the board, not to address anybody else in the room. Thank you.
I'm addressing these. I'm telling you about your employers. You have these people that don't de-escalate the situation. That he assaults and attacks my wife. And then shortly after that, the other officer takes, and here's your other video, the screaming. Here's your sound to match with your videos that you have, and there's nothing being done about any of this. It starts up here. All this bullying starts with you. You don't control your upper powers and allow them to bully, your children are going to bully.
We are not able to hear you address the board.
You didn't see me addressing you. I'm looking right at you.
Well, I can't hear you address the board, so would you please turn off the
Well, here's your
video?
sound. You can get it any time you want. When is something going to be done? When is something going to change? Is something going to happen about this? These children getting harassed by everybody every day, and you've got no support by your board, by your building, by your superiors, by your officers, your own entity. I can't have charges pressed. I mean, I'm off and I want a citizen's arrest on him. If not him, somebody else higher up. What do I have to do? Civil rights are being taken. Your charges are about to be dropped. I can't wait. I don't want them dropped. I want a trial. I want a jury to hear all of this crap that you guys allow and promote under your building and your roof. Because it wasn't about a mask that day. This man never approached her and said, put a mask on. She had a mask on. She repleted back to this building to help somebody else out, and he didn't. Did you? I remember you from last time. On recording, people, this man assaulted my children and my wife for no reason, and he still has a job. And this man is supposed to be the leader of all this. How are you your own entity? And I cannot tell city police, county police, anybody to come in here and arrest somebody in this building because you are empowered under this roof. But when you're out somebody else, your powers are lifted. You don't do this crap on the street. You all take your masks off and be just regular people on the street. But in here, you do your little things because you got this whole control, this whole power issue. What is that about? You're supposed to be here for our children, taking care of our little ones and giving them a proper future and education, not making them scared to death and have this fear. I'm scared to even come to this building at this point, worried about entrapment and being set up at some point, but I'm not going to stop putting my voice out.
Thank you.